What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys have all had a great Thursday. Hope you guys are ready for another 2023 fantasy football draft. We are hopping into the big board Superflex through Underdog fantasy football tonight. Super excited to be here with you guys. Super excited to throw together another Superflex squad. Of course, if you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, you can double your first deposit dollar by dollar, up to $100 with promo code the catch. Promo link in the description down below on the screen, all that good stuff. So hit that like button on the way in, hit that subscribe button, of course, if you guys are new to the channel, but most importantly, hop in the live chat, man. Let me know what's popping. Any fantasy football topics, redraft, dynasty, best ball, any NFL topics, whatever you guys want to get into tonight, let's do it, man. So, like I said, excited to be here with you guys tonight. I'm going to give this, I don't know, a minute or two, see if any of you guys want to hop in with me. I'll go ahead and test the waters. And only 4 open spots in the lobby, so for those of you interested in jumping in tonight, do it quickly, because this is going to fill literally in the next minute. 2 open spots left. Make sure you guys get in here. Michael, J-Dubs, J Speezy, I know you guys are out there. And draft is full. So, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Hopefully I got a couple of you guys in here. J-Dubs is in here and Michael's in here, so I'll take it. 2 you guys with me tonight. Let's do it, man. What pick did I get? Well, thank God. Finally, an early pick in this tournament. Every time I draft, I'm at the 1.10 or 1.11 or 1.12, I swear. I'm so happy to get a early pick tonight and secure a stud quarterback. Super excited. Super excited. All right, let's see here. Sorry, I was reading text very quickly. Thank you guys for spending part of your night here at the channel, man. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Jay Speezy, what's up, man? J-Dubs, hello. Michael, what's going on? How's everyone doing? How are you guys? Cats, what's going on? Yep, Underdog tonight. If you guys want to run a mock after this, redraft or dynasty, I'd be down to do an off-air mock. I probably have enough time to draft from my phone. So I know we didn't get a mock in last night since I was on Dynasty Life's channel last night. But yeah, I'm happy to run a mock after this for those of you who want to do so. But we'll start organizing that towards the end of the stream, I suppose. Let's see. Justin, trying to show John some love. Be a fiend for the draft. Let's do it, man. Yeah, I'm a fan of slow drafting. Matt, what's going on? It's a $10 entry for this particular tournament. Just for future reference if you're interested in joining. So, yeah, they're $10 entries at the moment. Oh, let's go. Burrow or Fields? Ooh, tough decision here. I'm going to go Burrow, but I love both. Love both. In a best ball format, Fields definitely the upside pick. You can't go wrong there. You just can't. So I'll take it all day long. J-Dub says I got the 1.1 today. I'm happy. Nice. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, I need to take a look at how full the tournament is. Let's see. Where's the fill rate? Oh, I went. Oh, yeah, getting pretty up there. 70.6. So I need to get some slow draft entries for sure. All right, Herbie gone at 1.5. Jackson gone at 1.6. Fields gone at 1.7. Slid back a little according to ADP. JJ, your first receiver off the board at 1.8, and Trevor Lawrence goes at 1.9. So J-Dub's going with the receiver in the first round. I like it. Thomas, what's up, dude? What's going on? Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well tonight. Appreciate you hanging out as always. Shane, what's up, my guy? How's it going? Hello, hello. J-Dub says Fields for best ball. I was so close to going Fields there. I mean, so incredibly close. But it is what it is. And there goes Chase at 1.11, and Michael will wrap up the first round. He goes Tyreek Hill. And Diggs, double receiver. So not really any NFL news. I know I kind of go over that very beginning of the stream, but not really anything to talk about. Per Bleacher Report, the Minnesota Vikings general manager doesn't commit to running back Dalvin Cook remaining on the roster amid trade rumors. Conversations are always ongoing with him. We're trying to be solution-oriented and always try to put the roster together within our constraints. So I have no idea what that means exactly. But I still don't believe Dalvin Cook's going to stay with the Vikings. So, NFL news. Per Ian Rappaport, Commanders owner Dan Snyder and 76ers and Devils owner Josh Harris have reached an agreement on a sale of the Washington Commanders to Harris ownership group for $6.05 billion. I'm ecstatic about this. I know the deal isn't completed. I think it's all on paper and ready to be signed, but it's not 100% completed. But it's a hair before completion. I'm so happy about this. You guys know that I grew up a Washington fan, and I have not rooted for them in a very long time because they have literally been the worst organization in the entire NFL, in my opinion, like for quite some time now. And I would say primarily due to Dan Snyder's ownership. So I'm super excited about this. Anyone is a better option to run that team, in my opinion. Anyone. All right, I'm going to take a skill position player off the board here. I'm going to go Amon-Ra. A lot of good players here, but I'm going to go Amon-Ra here. And then I'm going to see if I can land Jared Goff at the 3.4. I love Amon-Ra going into next season. I know A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams are there. I get it. I know C.D. Lamb's there. I know Garrett Wilson's there. There's a lot of good names. But I'm going to see if I can secure a little stack here. See if it pays off. Kirk Cousins goes to finish out the second round. Eckler's off the board to start the third round. So, yeah, I'm super excited about the news in terms of the Washington Commanders. I think I may be going back to being a Washington fan. We'll see how things unfold over the next week, month, however long it takes. But I think there are good things coming for Washington. Super excited about that. All right, I'm going to take Goff off the board because by the time I pick again the 45th overall selection, I just don't know what quarterbacks are going to be there. So, yeah, I'm happy. We go Amon-Ra, secure a little stack, and we'll move right along. 2 quarterbacks, 1 receiver to start tonight's action. J-Dub says, Superflex Underdog feels a bit too easy of a contest, not a big skill gap. I like this tournament a lot. I definitely want to get some slow drafts under my belt because overall, I just really like this tournament, and I agree. I think you can build some really good teams. I do think, especially with this tournament being before the NFL draft and being a Superflex format, not as many people are interested in it. And a lot of people are just waiting for Best Ball Mania to open up for the season. So, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me, but I think they'll wrap up the Superflex big board, and then I think they do one more big board right after the NFL draft. They kind of let ADP settle and a couple, the rest of the offseason progress a little bit more, and then Best Ball Mania opens up, if I'm not mistaken. So, and we'll see. I mean, if I remember correctly, that's how it went last year. But once Best Ball Mania opens up, especially since they're going to typically have different tiers of entries, including like $5 entries, that's going to really shake things up a bit. So really get things going. I'm excited for it. Shane says Saquon won't sign his tag. Yeah, that came up as well yesterday. I think the Giants have the money to take care of Saquon. It will be interesting to see if they decide to do so or not. But I think they can. It's just, and I think they should pay Saquon, don't get me wrong, but when we look at things from an ownership perspective, Saquon is in a very interesting position. Because when you break it down, he's going into his 6th season. He's 26 years old. He's had, missed a lot of time in 2020 and had some injuries in 2019, 2021 as well. But obviously last season fully healthy. You see what Saquon Barkley is still completely capable of. So I don't know how long of a, like, what a long-term deal really means for a 26-year-old running back, even of Saquon Barkley's caliber. I mean, I think you can certainly argue he should be right up there with guys like C-Mac and Derrick Henry in terms of their pay. So we'll see what happens. But I think ultimately they'll probably get things sorted out one way or another. But if they don't, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities in this coming draft to draft a running back. But unless they get Bijan, I don't quite think it's going to be a same caliber type player. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope they get sorted out. I mean, I'm a fan of the way that offense is shaping, but we'll see what happens. All right, where do I want to go here? Michael snags up Olave at 4.1. J-Dubs goes Pollard at 4.5. All skill position players for JW so far. Michael with one quarterback and Kyler. I'd like to get T. Higgins here. You know, I'd like to think he's staying with the Bengals and I can secure another stack. You got Chubb, Derrick Henry, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Metcalf, the top-rated players on the board. When we look at quarterbacks, we got J-Lo, Staph Infection, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Richardson, Pickett, Trey Lance, Garoppolo. So I might kind of fade quarterback for the rest of this draft because I think Burrow and Goff are going to be able to stay healthy next year, and then I take kind of a mid to late round flyer guy. So let's go Higgins right here. Let's do it. 2 stacks in the book. I like it tonight. I like it. I like it. Then I think we start to kind of take a swing at some running backs. Maybe get a stud receiver, or excuse me, stud tight end here. We'll see what happens. I might just take another receiver here because I do think it's going to dry up sooner rather than later. And I think there's good value in terms of later round running back. So we'll see who's available here at pick 52. There's a couple of receivers that I really like available at the moment. So, I mean, there's quite a few good names. And running back just took a little bit of a smack with Henry and Stevenson off the board as we move into the 5th round. So, it might be a little bit of a gamble, but I might take a breather at running back. I mean, I haven't drafted a running back, but I think I might snag up one more receiver here. You got DJ Moore, Christian Watson, Christian Kirk, Amari Cooper, Hopkins, Mike Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London. There's some good names on the board that won't be available at pick 69. So, see what happens. Albert, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. Appreciate you hanging out, as always, my dude. Chase, what's up? How we doing, man? Interesting stack. I'm all for it, man. Give me a Lions stack. Give me a Bengals stack. And I think DJ Moore is going to have a good season with the Bears. Let's add him right here. Love that start. Definitely need to shore up some running backs. Probably with the next 2 picks. I might kind of just fade tight end. I don't know. I think I can get some pretty good value. We'll see who's available at the next pick. But, yeah, we'll just kind of sit back and see who gets drafted here. Shane says, I think he's on another team next year in regards to Saquon. I mean, it's definitely still possible. But I just think it would be a very, very bad locker room move for the Giants to not figure it out with Saquon. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, man. Sorry, I'm reading an important email very quickly. Okay, good. That was a good email update. Okay, sorry about that, guys. J-Dub says, hoping JJ and Cup outscores your quarterbacks. I mean, it's definitely possible. You get Stroud in the 5th. We'll see. I mean, a little bit of a quarterback run here. Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Staph Infection, Pickett. I mean, that's going to take a pretty heavy chunk off the board. Michael goes D-Hop. Just kind of move this down a little bit. And goes Anthony Richardson at 6.1. All right, Jimmy G's gone large run at quarterback. Cooper's gone. We'll see what happens here. I mean, still a lot of good. Man, this might end up being a 0 RB build for me, man. Just really good receivers still available. But obviously, we have 5 more selections till we pick again. And yeah, I mean, there goes Christian Watson. And Cooper's gone as well. There goes Trey Lance. I feel like I definitely need to take a running back with one of these next 2 picks. But I feel like we're going to come away with a pretty elite wide receiver room, which I'm happy about. I know in this tournament, wide receiver doesn't hold the typical merit where you're playing 3 wide receivers because that 3rd wide receiver spot is replaced by the Superflex spot. But I just like loading up at receiver. Scary Terry's gone. So I'm probably going to go Christian Kirk or Drake London right here. There goes Drake London. Oh, it's close for me. It's super close here. I might just go 2 running backs. All that talk for nothing. I might just go 2 running backs. I just don't know exactly who's going to fall out. I'm going to go Aaron Jones here. I think I'm going to try and get Monty at pick 76. I might go... It's either going to be Monty or Christian Kirk. I mean, regardless, I'm super happy with Amon-Ra, Higgins, and DJ Moore. It's tough. Justin says draft is flying. Oh, yeah. Moving quickly tonight. Already approaching the 7th round. Would you like DJ Moore over Lockett? Trying to settle a debate. I like both. I like both a lot. I think DJ Moore is on a team with an offense that's moving in a better direction. Like, I don't think the Seahawks are moving in a bad direction, but I think their offense will be pretty similar to what we saw last season, which would from a fantasy perspective would be great for Lockett, right? I mean, he had an extremely underrated an extremely underrated season last year as wide receiver 13 in full PPR, as he typically is, just very, very underrated. Wide receiver 15, 2021, wide receiver 8, 2020, wide receiver 13, 2019. So, wide receiver 17, 2018. So, yeah. I just think DJ Moore gives you a bit more upside. But I like Lockett a lot, who goes right here to Chong Wizard at 7.3. I think both are great picks. All right, I'm going to go Monty here. I just think it's the smarter move. I really want to go receiver with one of those 2 picks. If London fell to 6.9, I probably would have picked London. But I'm completely okay snagging up 2 running backs right there. There goes JSN. I'm going to go ahead and throw together a little queue. Make sure I'm not blindsiding myself. There's still good receivers who will probably be available at pick 93, pick 100. But, yeah. I mean, that tier right there, Drake London, Judy, Lockett, and Christian Kirk, who I know is not going to fall out to me, especially if he makes it to pick 84 and 85 with Michael. But, yeah, those guys, I just really like that tier. Really do. And, like, I think at running back you can always take a little bit of a chance on some flyer guys, but this tournament running back is pretty important, so I'm okay with locking up those 2 guys. Purdy, a really good selection for you right there, J-Dubs, being that you have Lance as well. Justin says, top 24 last 4 years with dog turd at QB. For a second, I was trying to make sure. I wasn't sure if you meant Justin Fields was a dog turd. But you're saying the past couple of years. So, yeah. J-Dub says, I'll take my guy. I believe that would be DJ Moore. Cat says, I'll take Lockett over DJ Moore personally. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I love both. I really do. I just think DJ Moore gives you a hair more of upside. No pun intended. Justin, numbers don't lie. Had that dog in him. That was with PJ Walker and Chiz Turd McNugget. DJ Moore is savage. Yeah, I mean, he actually had pretty good chemistry with PJ Walker. Yeah, definitely get insured at quarterback. And you'll probably continue to select a couple, I would imagine. I mean, what skill position players do you have? JJ Cup, Walker, Pollard could definitely pay off. Michael's got Hill, Diggs, Olave, Hopkins, Swift, and Algier with Richardson and Murray. Could, I mean, gosh, talk about upside. Jeez. Smoking the Cat, what's up, my dude? Hello, hello. How we doing, man? Always appreciate you stopping by. Hope you've been doing good, man. What's going on with you? All right. Looking at the board here as we see a little bit of a run at tight end. I think I'm going to... I don't know. I think I want to go running back receiver with these next two picks. Or receiver running back. I'm going to take Hollywood off the board. I love him as a wide receiver 4. There goes Chris Godwin. I think he's a great value right here as well. I think Godwin, that team's got Lockett and Godwin, just two guys who are being massively undervalued coming into this coming season. Mike Evans sitting here as well. Evans is extremely interesting to me. Evans and Godwin is really going to be interesting to see how they fare without Brady, but I think that they'll probably be fine. I don't think there's a super high ceiling with them, but in full PPR, I think they bring a lot of consistency. Speedsy, I like to move J-Dubs. Lance holds value, even if Purdy is starter and his capital, he'll get a shot somewhere for sure. For sure. All right, 8th round, wrapping up here. Who's getting taken? I don't know where I want to go with this next pick. There's a lot of good names on the board. A lot of good names. All right, there goes Mike Evans, who we were just talking about. 9th round kicks off here. I think I'm going to go Pacheco or Rashad White, if they're available. Thought about taking a tight end. I don't think I'm going to. Don't think I'm going to. Desmond Ridder off the board here to start the 9th. Could also take, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to take another receiver. There goes Pacheco, so there's one man out. Actually, I was kind of hoping Pacheco would be available. Every time I think of him being tied to the Chiefs offense, I just think of good games at the end of the season that could help push you through the tournament. All right, Akers is a good pick there. For me, it's either Rashad White or Evan Ingram here. I'm going to take Rashad White. I like Charbonnet sitting here too, but I'm good with that pick. Take a receiver, take a running back. I like the way this team is looking so far. I really do. We'll see how I could potentially wrap things up here, though. We've still got 10 more selections, so a lot of work to do. All right, I'm going to build a tiny little queue here. Mixon's gone. Deontay Johnson's gone. Still got plenty of value at receiver left on the board. Or actually, the point I'm getting at is rookie receivers. Evan Ingram goes. Charbonnet goes. Good pick, JW. I just want to make sure. All right, I feel like I'm on a decent spot in terms of my queue. Yeah, I feel all right. As I continue to say that, then just add more players. All right, Brandon Cook's gone. Javante's gone. Rashad Penny's gone. Michael's on the board here. Wrap up the 9th. Take us into the 10. Yeah, these rounds are moving pretty quickly. Cat says, you waste a 6th or 7th round pick either way unless he's traded. Yeah, I mean, I guess the other argument is that with Purdy's injury, there's a chance of re-injury for both players, both Lance and Purdy. So we'll see what happens. All right, Fryermuth is gone and Mac and Cheese is gone. Good value picks there, Michael, for sure. I love Fryermuth in the 9th. Ingram and Fryermuth gone in the 9th, I think, are very solid picks. Smokey Godwin / Evans or Lockett. I think I'm still leaning Lockett in that scenario because we know exactly what we're going to get out of the quarterback position for Seattle going into next season. So I think you can rely on a little bit more consistency where I think Baker could step in and be, decent enough. But there's also the chance that he's not, So there could be growing pains at the quarterback position for the Bucs next year. There's rumors that the Buccaneers really like Will Levis as well. I think this draft, I don't know, man. I think this draft's going to get a little wild, a little quick. I think we're going to see some things that we're not expecting. And you got Kyle Trask there, too. Don't forget about him. But yeah, I'll go Lockett overall at the moment. But I do think Godwin and Mike Evans hold a lot of really good value. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Godwin at the moment. Do we have any news on Alvin Kamara? Oh, well, he's off the board. I feel like in best ball tournaments, he's worth the 10th round selection. All right, I'm going to take Cole Kmet here because I just want to get tight end out of the way. And I think he's the best available tight end. Boring pick, but we got to take one, right? I'm in a tough spot here because all the players I kind of have queued up aren't necessarily like at their current ADP. Like I'm probably going to have to take someone against ADP, which I don't have a problem with. Or I could go Tannehill or Baker here because once they're gone, you don't have a whole lot. There goes Tannehill. But like I said, I need to draft a third quarterback just in case. But like Goff and Burrow, I feel are very stable options in the Superflex format. But there are bye weeks. Even if you're not looking at what you think is a quarterback room with injury risk, and don't get me wrong, there's injury risk with any quarterback. There are bye weeks, But I just want to take another skill position players. Damian Harris off the board to move us in to the 11th round. I think I'm going to take a running back here. I think I am. I just don't know. If I don't go running back here, it's got to be Baker. We were just like kind of talking smack about. Quinn Johnston's gone. Madison's gone. I'm going to go A.J. Dillon here. Puts my running backs as... So I got Jones and Dillon. I got Monty and Rashad White. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Hollywood, Cole Kmet at tight end. Then we got Burrow and Goff at quarterback. I like it. Thomas says Tyler Lockett is Mr. Consistent. Definitely super consistent. Yep. Very underrated guy. And he doesn't get hurt because he falls on purpose, which I love. Any news on Eckler? Nope, nothing. Nada. Zip. But I don't think the running back market's like super inviting. I think it's kind of up to Eckler. Like if he gets, I don't know, maybe an offer for somewhere he'd rather play. But I think that's another situation where Eckler ultimately ends up staying home with the Chargers. But regardless, you guys know my stance. I don't care where Eckler ends up. He's a first-round running back in my mind. I think probably the only player, maybe outside of Barkley, that next to CMC, of course. CMC, Barkley, Eckler. I don't particularly care what offense they're like. They've all proven they can be fantasy valuable in bad offenses. Derrick Henry, I mean, that's a redraft situation, but still, like, I don't really care where Henry is either. Like, those guys are going to give you production for sure. Let's see. No Dalvin Cook news either. I mean, we just got like some, I don't know, weird kind of update from the GM, and that's about it. Seems like it would hard to beat teams that hit on quarterbacks and didn't waste an early pick. Who knows though? Can't do underdog drafts. Yeah. There's always different strategies, man. Some interesting teams that made it really far in last year's tournaments. Okay, I think I know where I want to go with these next two picks. Gibson's a great pick in the 12th round. Really good pick there. I'm going to try and take Kenneth Gainwell with this next pick, and that'll probably wrap up my running backs. We'll take them off the board there. And then we'll just see. There's probably going to be some good rookie running backs who float around towards the end that I take a chance on. But with this next pick, I'm going to try and land Allen Lazard. And you got Michael Thomas, Darnell Mooney, Tyler Boyd, Allen Lazard, Zay Jones. I like that whole tier, but I'd like to lock up Lazard. Also, Greg Dulcich sitting here, I think would be a nice tight end too behind Kmet. But I think we can clean up at tight end a little bit later. So quarterback's done with Baker off the board. Michael Thomas taking it at 12.12 and into the 13th round we go. So, I mean, you got the Brisket, Gardner Minshew, Hendon Hooker, Mike White, Tyler Huntley, Sam Darnold, Bailey Zappi, Heineke, Trask, Willis, Dalton. So those are really your only chances of any points throughout the season. So I might just fade quarterback. All right, give me the Lizard. Give me Allen Lazard. Love this team so far. Burrow, Goff, Jones, Monty, Rashad White, A.J. Dillon, Kenneth Gainwell, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Hollywood, Allen Lazard, Cole Kmet. I think this is a great start. I mean, I know overall you can argue there's an issue at quarterback here, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. J-Dubs, at the late pick, I can't match Allen, Hurts, Mahomes playing it safe unless injury. Though Watson is undervalued. I missed the old ADPs. Pick it at 80 was sweet. Oh, yeah. I mean, even like when we first started drafting this tournament, like they had Aaron Rodgers and Goff, Geno. They had their ADP way lower. Russell Wilson's ADP was way lower. Kyler's was. They've definitely adjusted that. Like looking at the overall rankings, which I know the board doesn't represent, but the rankings have moved up for sure. So it just happens. More and more people draft. Zay Jones, DPJ gone. I was really hoping like somehow one of those two guys, Tyler Boyd as well. I almost went Boyd over Lazard or Gainwell just because I have Burrow, but having the Burrow-Higgins stack, I think I'm okay. But yeah, I love all the wide receivers taken here in the 13th round. I mean, I like Sky Moore. I love all the other guys. Allen Lazard, Boyd, Zay Jones, DPJ. But even Sky Moore, like, you know, you have to think in basketball tournaments in terms of players that can give you value at the end of the year and leading up to the end of the season to push you through those tournament rounds and everything. And Sky Moore, just it's not even like so much that it's Sky Moore. It's just the Chiefs' offense in general. Like they are a team that will score points towards the end of the season, making a push for home field advantage and playoff seeding, all that stuff. So, yep. Love Stars, what's going on? Hello. Thank you for stopping in tonight. What's going on? What are your thoughts on drafting both Washington quarterbacks as third and fourth quarterback roster spots when you say have two wide receivers from Washington? I'm completely good with that. I mean, I'm always okay with a double stack. You know, you don't want to get too much overexposure. You know, I had some teams like that I built that way last year, and I don't really feel like it gave me any advantage. You know, if you're going out and getting I mean, there might be one or two teams, like maybe the Jags I'd be willing to take a chance on. Maybe the Bears, because those are two teams that I think are trending for upside next season. But, you don't always want to go out and get Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, ETN, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and Calvin Ridley. You don't want to get too much overexposure. But when you look at Washington, Washington's an interesting team because all their players have good value where you draft them. We'll take a look at the board tonight where everyone went in terms of the Washington Commanders after I make these next two selections. But Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, and then obviously Sam Howell and definitely Jacoby Brissett all have good value. All right, so I can really go wherever I want with these next two picks. Might just pick the best available receiver. Just kind of a debate. All right, I'll take Rondell Moore off the board. Gives me two pieces of Arizona. I kind of have some exposure issues with this team. I almost went Romeo Doubs. I almost went Jacoby Brissett. I think I'm just going to pick two receivers here. Curtis Samuel, another Washington player that's got very good value overall. All right, Briskett's gone. Into the 15th round we go. I think I'm going to take another receiver here. Question is who? There's Wandell. I was about to say, I kind of like MVS's value right here. He tends to, and we were talking about the Chiefs offense, end of the season, right? MVS had a good closing portion of the year. There goes Josh Palmer. I'm going to go Romeo Doubs here. I think he's going to have some good games next year with J-Lo. Wow, I got 3 Green Bay Packers on this team. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more spots for that. All right, Washington Commanders. So McLaurin goes at 6.7. Good value. I mean, seriously. At the end of the day, regardless of what you want to say, Scary Terry brings a lot of consistency. Was a top 15 wide receiver last season. So, Jahan Dotson is kind of the upside play. Good sophomore season, had some injuries and everything like that. So, when you look at Dotson, who went at 10.6, which is slightly against his ADP, I think he's a really good value right there. He's a nice upside pick in the 10th round. So, Sam Howell went in the 8th round tonight. It's like you're not paying premium prices for those guys. And Jacoby Brissett goes in the 14th round. So, yeah, I think that's a perfectly fine strategy. You only want to do it in so many drafts just in case. Like, last year I had a good amount of drafts where the 2 late round stacks I would snag were Zach Wilson and a Jets receiver and, like, sometimes Uzama. That did not work. And a lot of times I would draft, like, Mac Jones, Kendrick Bourne, and Hunter Henry because those players were so cheap. And I was securing a stack as like my QB3. And it just ended up doing nothing for me, So, but in essence, it was a good idea because I was securing stacks at a very, very cheap price on a portion of my teams. So I do think that Washington players are at a good price right now. But you just don't want to get too much exposure is the only thing I would say. And yeah, Brian Robinson went at 12.1 tonight. And then where was Gibby? At 12.7. So good values on both those guys. And committee backs hold a lot of value in best ball tournaments for sure. Thomas John, when you were saying that running backs you consider in round 1, you didn't say K9. You wouldn't consider him even at the 1.12 in redraft. So I wasn't saying running backs I'd take in round 1. I was just saying if we're referring to the same thing, I was referring to running backs that I don't care what team they're on. They still hold extremely high fantasy value and are going to bring extremely high production. So, but younger guys like Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall, even Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, aren't necessarily, I would say, part of that discussion. Like they're all they're not at a point in their career, except for maybe Pollard, you could argue, and I guess Jacobs because they're both on the franchise tag, but they're not really in discussions to being moved. Where Christian McCaffrey was moved last season, Eckler's now in discussions, Derrick Henry's in discussions as well. But yeah, those three players, or four players, C-Mac, Eckler, Barkley, Henry, I don't care where they end up. They're going to bring a ton of production was the only point I was particularly making. All right. I'm going to go Isaiah Hodgins here. I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to try and get Hayden Hurst here. Be my second tight end. I feel good about that. So we load up with a couple more receivers there. Allen Lazard, Rondell Moore, Romeo Doubs, and Hodgins. I like tonight's team. I really do. You're good, Thomas. No worries, my dude. Yeah, I'd definitely take Walker in the first round all day. I think Walker's going to have a great year next year. J-Dub says this will be a 5 QB build for me. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, it's probably going to have to be so with Stroud, Lance, Purdy, Minshew. I mean, you could even consider going 6 if that didn't potentially ruin the draft. I'm in a position right now where I'm considering taking one more quarterback. But I think a couple of these guys are going to get wiped out, and I think going Hayden Hurst right here is more important because I do need a second tight end. Or I could take a big gamble and go Irv Smith. Or go, I was about to say, Dalton Kincaid and just play the hypothetical that there's a strong chance that, I'm going to go Hayden Hurst, but strong chance that the Bengals do draft a tight end. So. All right, I've got to rebuild a queue because everyone's gone. So let me throw this together very, very quickly. How many more picks do we have? 3 or 4? 3. Yeah, I feel like I'm actually in a position where I can just draft best player available. I probably want to throw a quarterback in here, being that I only have 2, just in case of bye weeks and injuries. But Goff, Burrow, like I've said multiple times throughout the stream, I feel are just super reliable. So I feel pretty good there. There goes Trey McBride, a good pick. Good pick by J.W. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good players available. A lot of rookies still available too, guys. Renfro, I think, is a good value in the 17th. Marvin Mims, a good pick there. See what Michael does. Wrapping up the 17th, moving us into the 18th round. Yeah, I mean, you still got like, I don't know, there are a couple like rookie running backs that are very, very far back in ADP. And like, I get it, they're not being drafted as often, and you know, because they're not on an actual team yet. So in this particular tournament, they're just not being drafted as often. But even some like Rashee Rice is like 239.6 is his ADP, wide receiver 110. You know, like some of these guys are worth dart throws. Okay, I think I usually am just used to scrolling like super far down because you just never know who's buried. But yeah, I feel good about this team. Burrow, Goff, Aaron Jones, Monty, Rashad White, A.J. Dillon, Gainwell, Amon-Ra, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Hollywood, Allen Lazard, Rondell Moore, Romeo Doubs, Hodgins, Cole Kmet, Hayden Hurst. So like I feel pretty good right now. Like I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with these next 2 picks. I think the final pick of the draft, I'm going to take either another tight end or a rookie running back. I don't really particularly feel like I need another receiver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot there. Yeah, I feel like 5 at most is fine, J-Dubs. I feel like, or Cat says, I like the idea of spamming quarterbacks that could start towards the end of the draft, like Brissett, Zappy, Minshew, etc. Yeah, I'm good at that. One quarterback in the first or second, 4 or 5 towards the end. It's definitely a viable strategy. Yeah, Colt McCoy is a good pick for Michael specifically because he does have Kyler Murray on this squad as well. So helps kind of balance out that potentially. So what do I do with this next pick? I think I'm going to pick a quarterback at 213 and a quarterback at 220. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm tempted to go with another tight end. I mean, Hendon Hooker, Mike White, Sam Darnold, Bailey Zappi. Like, I mean, there's so many. There's an argument for every guy right here. I'm going to go Sam Darnold because I do realistically think he could see some playing time, even if it's not a lot. But just look at that quarterback room last year. I think Sam Darnold could get some playing time this coming season. So I'll go Darnold there. Heineke's here. Zappy's here. Mike White, Hendon Hooker. Hooker is like the most upside out of any of these guys, but a lot of risk as well. Cade Otton's still sitting here. I kind of want to pick Cade Otton. I think that'd make for a great tight end room. It's just tough, man. Andy Dalton's another player who I think will see some playing time this year. Hooker is intriguing right here, though. John Mechie's available. He's really the last receiver who I think is... I mean, you got Robert Woods, Van Jefferson, a couple of rookies. That's about it. There's a lot of running back value. I think I'm going to go Cade Otton with this next pick. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Just kind of cleaning up some depth here at the end of the draft because I feel like I'm in a good spot. So I think with that last pick, I'll either take another quarterback or go with a rookie running back. I think that's what I'm going to do. Or maybe just take the best available receiver. But for me, it's probably like if Darius Slayton's there. Because then with having Hodgins as well, I just kind of potentially link up some good target share from the Giants. But like, there are quite a few good rookie running backs available that I think are worth taking. Yeah, this last pick is tough. J-Dubs gets Hendon Hooker. I like that pick for you, man. I like that pick. I can't believe I was just like excited about drafting Sam Darnold. Thomas, team sounds solid, John. Like the Aaron Jones Dillon stack because you always have the starter for sure. For sure. Mac Jones could go to Arizona as well. I mean, I guess that's technically true. J-Dubs, I think running back will be more relied upon this year in Green Bay. 100% agree. J-Dubs says, let's get weird with the Hooker pick. I like it. Love Stars, are you clicking Kareem Hunt at his current ADP? Not personally, but I do think he's worth it. It's just the way a lot of my drafts have worked out. You know, he's sitting here at 16.6 tonight. I'm usually wrapped up with running back at that point. I kind of just clear it between the mid rounds. Maybe go hero running back, pick one guy a little bit earlier. But he just hasn't really been a part of my game plan so far. But I do think he's worth the selection where he's going. But until we know where he lands, which will definitely shoot his ADP up a little bit, he just hasn't really been a part of any of my game plans so far. But I don't think he's a bad value. in the 16th round at all. I actually really like Devin Singletary. I think he could have a decent role with Houston this coming year. And I like Michael Carter because, I think Breece Hall is incredible, but Breece Hall does have the injury history. And at the end of the day, the Jets, showed at times last year that they will utilize more than one running back, even when Hall is healthy. So I like Carter. I think he's a great value, too, kind of in that same area as Kareem Hunt. So, yeah, there's not a lot of other guys that really shoot out to me. James Robinson's interesting in the 18th round, as is Leonard Fournette and Chuba Hubbard at the 17th and 18th round there. So I like all those names, like in a best ball format, because if they give you 3 or 4 games towards the end of the season when they're having to help in terms of other players being injured, it brings a lot of value to your team. Darius Slayton, Andy Dalton, Evan Hull, Deuce Vaughn, Kenny McIntosh, Chase Brown. That's my queue. I think all these players help my team. I'll go Evan Hull here, but I really don't think any of those players are bad selections there. Add another running back. I like this team tonight, man. I think we did all right tonight. I think it's a good balanced team, man. Yeah, really could have gone with any player there at the end. Oh, Jacobs was going for Zappy. Yeah, I was very close to taking Zappy with one of these picks, too. But on Hurts getting banged up at some point, hey, why not? First 6 quarterback build, I'm sick about it. We'll take a look at the teams here in a second, see what this final pick is. Strandberger, the last selection of the night. Let's see what we got. Taking all his sweet time. Yeah, I thought tonight was a pretty good draft for us, man. Alrighty. All right, so let's take a look at Michael's team first. Who both you guys had to go a little crazy at quarterback tonight, man. That's what those late first round picks will do to you. Convince you to take a lot of skill position players and a lot of bad quarterbacks. But Kyler and Richardson certainly makes this team interesting, but you had to get some insurance policies beyond those two guys, because very strong likelihood that Richardson does not start for quite a while this year. Kyler is going to miss a good bit of time too, so you're really relying on Mac and Cheese as your QB1, and then maybe Colt McCoy to fill in for a bit while Kyler's out, and then you have some insurance for Mac Jones. So there's a lot of problems with your quarterback room. If you do well enough in the first couple weeks, by the time Kyler's back, you could be in a decent position. Especially, if Richardson takes off, then the gamble pays off. But because once Kyler's back, you're in a great spot. Swift, Algier, Robinson, Zeke, Carter, perfectly fine with this running back room in a best ball tournament. Hill, Diggs, Olave, Hopkins, great start. Osborne, Shaheed, Curtis Samuel, Bobby Trees, great wide receiver room overall. A lot of good value here, Michael. Freiermuth, Noah Fant, I'm perfectly fine with that tight end room. Everything looks great, except you get the question mark at quarterback. And that's what happens, It's just very difficult. If you don't go wide receiver here, you get a Prescott, a Danny Dimes, a 2 a time. I understand, why. I've picked from the 1.12 before. I totally get it. So, like I said, if the risk pays off here, you're in a good team. You got a lot of upside at quarterback here. So, everything else looks fantastic, JW with 6 QBs tonight. We got Stroud, Lance, Purdy, Minshew, Hendon Hooker, Mariota. Same sort of deal, right? You picked at the 1.8. I thought it was a little bit later, but still. When JJ Cup, Walker, Pollard to start your draft. Took a little bit of a gamble tonight. I'm okay with it. I know, like you said, you're kind of sick at quarterback, but let's say Stroud steps into a role right away. And then Purdy's good to go. And if he's not, let's say Lance is good to go. You're in a decent spot. Minshew can fill in a couple games. Hooker and Mariota are just some insurance policies. So, yeah, I agree. I wouldn't feel great about this quarterback room either. But, let's look at the rest of the team. Walker, Pollard, Charbonnet, Wilson, Roshan Johnson, Singletary, good running back room. Walker and Pollard kind of leading the way. Charbonnet, a great pick. Ooh, light at receiver tonight. I mean, that's kind of what happened when you had to load up at quarterback. 3 tight ends as well. But J.J. Cup, like, I mean, you're in a really good spot, barring any injuries, right there with your 2 starting receivers. Jameson Williams, Burks, Thornton just gives you some upside for your flex spot. So, light at receiver could hurt you as well. But, I mean, at least you have those 2 studs, right? And Njoku, Knox, McBride, a good tight end room, all things considered. So, interesting build tonight. But that's why we draft with you, man, because you throw together interesting builds. I like it. All right, I got Burrow, Goff, and I got the man himself, Sammy Darnold. Like I said, throughout the whole draft, I think Burrow and Goff are fine, but there are bye weeks, and unfortunately, there's always injuries. So there's a gamble with my quarterback room, even having 2 guys that I believe in. I had to take someone at the end. I was very close to taking the 4th quarterback, whether it was Andy Dalton or Bailey Zappi, Heineke, just somebody. Malik Willis, whoever, just somebody. But Darnold, I think, could see some playing time this year early on, potentially. So it's not even the best pick because really I hypothetically need a quarterback who's going to see playing time at the mid-end point of the year. But whatever, he's on our team. It didn't really hurt the rest of the team, I don't think. Aaron Jones, Monty, Rashad White, A.J. Dillon, Kenneth Gainwell, and Evan Hull at running back. Love the running back room, especially considering we didn't go running back until the 6th round. I'm very happy with the running back room. Love the wide receivers tonight. Amon-Ra, Higgins, DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, Allen Lazard. I love that start right there. And all good values, I think, when we picked them. Rondell Moore, Romeo Dobbs, Hodgins to fill it out. I'm fine with that. Cole Kmet, Hayden Hurst, Kate Otten. I think in terms of value, very, very good tight ends overall. Purely alone in talent, or excuse me, in value. Not a ton of upside with these guys. I get it. I think Kmet's going to have a good year. Hurst could be in a good position for target share, and I think Kate Otten and Baker are going to develop a good chemistry. So I'm good at that tight end room. What's up after the review? What's up, man? What's up, Pete? How we doing? Hello, hello. I'm not ignoring you on Instagram. I know of a notification from you. I will get back to you. Thank you for stopping by tonight. What's up, man? What's the odds someone has my team? Probably very low. Very low. Michael says, I feel like if I took Dak, it's a perfect team. Yeah, I mean, you sacrifice one of these 2 receivers, but you'd still have, like, let's say you went Hill and Dak, you'd still have Hill, Olave, Hopkins, Osborne, Shaheed, Curtis Samuel, Bobby Trees. Like, you'd still probably be okay. So, whether it's Dak, Tua, Daniel Jones, Rodgers, Cousins, Goff, Smith, whoever you like the most there, I probably agree, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the thing with going Kyler and Richardson here, you needed to go. Like, you got so much good value, though. Like, Olave, Hopkins, Swift, Algier, Freiermuth. I get it. But even if you could have gone over KJ Osborne, like maybe Baker, I don't know. That doesn't really do too much. But yeah, you got so much good value here. But if you could have got a Brock Purdy or Sam Howell, Jordan Love, like just someone, it would have just made a big difference, I think. But I agree. You probably should have gone quarterback with one of these 2 picks. So, but it is what it is, man. You got a nice upside squad for the night. Let's see. Remember in best ball, your skill positions can slot your quarterback. It's 100% true. It's a great point, J-Dubs. Like, at the end of the day, when we're looking at this tournament, it's a super flex tournament. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to have a second quarterback all the time. Like, if you hit on the right skill position players, it can end up being just as valuable. But most, on a consistent basis, it's usually quarterback brings the best merit there. But I do agree with what you're saying to a degree. If you hit on the right guys, that is. After the review, should we tease some news? Sure, why not? For those of you guys in the stream tonight, a little bit of news for the channel. So after the review, and if you guys aren't familiar with Pete's channel, very, very big on short form content. Very, very big on YouTube Shorts, obviously, Instagram Reels, all that stuff. So Pete and I are actually going to start collaborating, and we will be putting out a short. I don't know exactly what our pace is going to be, but probably somewhere between every week and every other week. We haven't figured out all the exact details yet, We just kind of decided on this last night. So we're both super excited for it, super pumped. So Pete's entire premise is essentially a sports fact every day on his short form content. Starts his shorts with "Did you know?" and goes into a fact. So when we collaborate, it'll be kind of leaning on what Pete has always done with a sport fact, and him leading with the "Did you know?" and then it'll go into both of us presenting a fantasy fact. So it'll be relevant fantasy football facts, sometimes old school fantasy football. I mean, it'll just kind of revolve around what's going on in the fantasy football world as well as the NFL world. So we're both super excited for it. Like Pete says, dynamic duo is assembled. Yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good for both their channels, and good for both of us as content creators, just continuing to grow our creative outlets. And we're both super excited for it. So be on the lookout. That stuff will be on both of our channels and both of our Instagram pages. So if you guys aren't already subscribed to Pete's channel, go check him out after the review sports. If you guys give me a second, I'll drop a link. But Pete has supported our channel like since we were a small channel, and we're still a small channel, but for a long time, and vice versa. We've been in Pete's corner for before he hit 1,000 subs and everything. So yeah, we're just super excited, man. And yeah, I'm glad we got to drop that news tonight. So make sure you guys go drop a sub. You'll be able to watch that short form content on Pete's channel as well as my channel and both of our Instagram pages as well. So yep. That's a perfect way to kind of wrap up the stream tonight, man. After the videos, I had like 80 subs. Oh yeah, man. It was back in the day, bro. Back in the day. Yeah, I remember I played around with some short form content like 2 off seasons ago, maybe. Maybe it was just last off season, and we ended up crossing paths. It may have been even before that. I don't know. But regardless, man, here we are. The dynamic duo is assembled, right? All right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight, talking some fantasy football, talking some NFL news, and drafting a Superflex team with me tonight. I think we threw together a good team for sure. So I'm excited about it, man. Listen, I'm pumped. So tomorrow night, I don't know, we might run through another Underdog draft. We might run through a mock draft. We'll kind of see what happens. But we'll definitely be on tomorrow night as well. And yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way out. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Check out the links down below. Follow us on Instagram. Join our Discord. All that good stuff. So after the review, I really like those pack openings. I like doing that too. But it's a costly form of content. Football cards are not cheap. And the football card world is like insane. Literally. It's insane. So I mean, it's so hard to find football cards unless you buy them like off eBay when they're being sold at a higher price, or you like have notifications. Like I would have to get them through Target online a majority of the time, and the only reason I could order them is because I'm a Target Red Card member. Like buying football cards is very difficult and expensive. So that's the main reason I strayed away from it. Plus, it doesn't really tie in. Like I think it's good enough off-season content, but it doesn't really tie into fantasy, so it wasn't good for the channel in terms of the algorithm at the end of the day. But I did enjoy doing it for sure. Thomas, have a good night. J-Dubs, have a good night. After the review, we will talk soon. I'll get back to you shortly, either tonight or tomorrow when I'm at work, but we got a couple things to talk about regardless. Michael, what's up? Hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you for drafting with us tonight, man. Cats, have a good night. Love Stars, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Catch fam. Hope you have a good rest of your night, my dude. Smokey the Cat, Jay Speezy, Chase, Albert, Shane, Matt. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you guys for talking some fantasy. So with that being said, man, love you guys. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys need anything. And that'll wrap it up for the night. So with that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, You saw it here on the catch. And